Hello and welcome, Bargain and Subscription Gaming. My name is Rich, and we're playing a little more Citizen Sleeper. For some reason, after I quit last time, I noticed just as I was quitting that it said the last save was 23 seconds ago, which was before we slept. So as you can see, the dice are a little different. I don't have the 3 5s I had last time. I have a 65 and 2 3s. I'm hoping the 6 and the 5 will be enough to get the job, but I don't think it will. I may have to re-roll those 3s and see if I can get something better. But first we talk to Peak. Have you heard of KAN Channel Sleeper? People at Peak asks as soon as you enter the bay, as if you were in the middle of a conversation. There are heavy circles under their eyes, and you aren't sure if they've moved since you last visited. The console they are working at seems to have grown too, shadowing their slight frame in a wealth of screens and wires. Can you mean for transit? Yes, exactly. Peak turns to face you. Kioman's active negation, name of the effect used to transport trillions of tons of material from the circuit system to the core. Have you heard of it in your physics classes? XPR, they hammered the principles into us as kids. KAN Peak recites the definition as if in the classroom. A process of collapsed spatial causality along the Euclidean distance between 2 points by negating mass simultaneously at both ends of the geodesic curve. Essentially, KAN channels allow for near instantaneous transport of raw materials between systems. They require huge volumes of energy and decades of construction. But once a KAN channel is established, it opens up a system for infinite exploitation. The backbone of the surrogacy is what XPR called Peak shakes their head. They might not be able to send anything more complex than a rock through them. Complex machines that people are, shall we say, reconfigured by the process. For raw molecular pure materials, Peak flicks a hand. Whoosh. Where is this going? Peak pauses. What I was trying to find out was whether the Helion system, this system, had ever had a KAN channel. KAN channels are vastly expensive to build. To run, not every circuit system has one. Many use fraction drives to transport the materials to the nearest hub, but Solheim, Peak smiles. Solheim spared no expense when they established the system. There's a KAN channel. Yep, Peak's eyes light up. They shut it down before the collapse. They couldn't run the sender-receiver station anymore, but it was there. It still is, as far as I can tell, closely orbiting our star. In fact, Peak runs the building, as I'm sure. So, because one of the issues with KAN channels are the massive waves of exotic energy they can produce when cycling up. The flux. Exactly, Peak's face suddenly drops. Someone is starting up the channel. Why? Peak sucks in a breath. That I don't know. They start counting off information on their fingers. They need a lot of resources to do it. They need to have people from one core systems. And there's no real large-scale extraction in the Helion system anymore, so why would you go to the trouble just to trigger the flux? Peak rubs their eyes. The flux, the wave the con effect produces, is a side effect, a problematic one, but it's a destructive force. If it was, the core systems would have never been able to use it. So then why are the colonies collapsing because of it? Why is it chewing through the systems? The kind of industrial system set up function within the range of once active KAN channel. Peak is getting frustrated. The moons of Ember have been terraformed since before the collapse. They would have had to deal with the flux. Yet everything we have heard from the refugees say has brought down everything they had. Peak falls quiet, thinking it all through. Your mind drifts too, thinking of the KAN channel, these vast acausal highways that prop up the core systems and their endless appetite for resources. The system has been quiet for decades. Solheim collapsed, most corporations gave up their claims, and apart from sealess ships that came to begin work on the sidereal horizon, no one from the core has come here in all that time. You shiver as you imagine the attention of the core, the systems of logic and exploitation that created your suffering turning towards the Helion system. A floodlight turned to this dark corner. A shrill beep catches your attention and Peak rushes the screen, one showing a crude map of the station. On it, individual markers begin to flare up with insistent chirps. Peak looks puzzled for a moment, and then their face drops. No, they lean close. This doesn't make any sense. What's happening? The flux nodes are appearing elsewhere on the station. Peak points everywhere. I set their system to alert me to other flux nodes near the epicenter of the flux event, but these are everywhere. The hub, the low, and the shipyard. How can this happen? The only reason we saw flux nodes here is because it's the most run-down part of the station. They're barely shielded, but others appearing so far after the event. Peak turns to you. You are going to need to get me the data from these nodes, and quickly. I'll keep looking what I have here, but I need to know what they are popping up everywhere. Right now, right now. We can talk more about KAN channels and systems history when you are back. This needs our attention right now. Peak turns back to the monitor, their eyes flowing, scrolling screens of code spewing from the flux nodes. You leave quickly, but struggle to shake the image of Spotlight from your mind. You feel watch as you cross back into the Pilgrim Suite on your way to a shuttle bay. You hurry onward, eager to outrun the fear. Okay. Timer does not appear to be showing up there. I don't see anything like that. So wait, I'm gonna hit this real quick to see if there's anything on this side. No. Let's travel across. Yet again, flux node, Haven Edge, flux node. She did 3 of them, I think. So I'm betting one of them's like up in the hub or something. Oh, and they take really good dies. Oh. Flux node. All taking good dice. I hate that. Well, since it doesn't require a timer yet, I'm just going to go out here, I think, and finish working on the Ember song stuff if I can. Alright. I think I can use one of the 3s on this other one to get this last. Alright. Yeah, that'll just get the last one. Bam, and I got some energy. Very nice. Alright. Sleeper Petr calls to you as you cross the axis. He's standing by the same railing as you saw him at last time, and he beckons you over. I've been hearing things. He gives you a silent look. Good things? Petr smiles mostly. He rubs his hands together nervously and you wait for him to speak. You know, on song, I was a teacher. He glances at you, anticipating response. Really? Petr says. Don't sound so surprised. Mechanical engineering, it's an essential subject on a moon where a single mechanical failure could mean the deaths of hundreds. He looks at the ground, the heat, the atmosphere, the radiation, all of it is hostile to us. My students knew this. Their work, their training was respected as long as they were careful and respected song themselves. They could have their choice of colony placements. They were always in demand. That meant I was respected, surrounded by friends and colleagues, always able to call in favors and repay them like for like. He frowns. Song's colonies are small, close-knit. We look after our own. When the flux event started hitting and colonies went dark overnight, we all knew what those kinds of failures meant. Like always, we lost more people than any of the other ones. He balls his hands into tight fists. Not a single one of my students left Song. Our future was cut off, just like that. My future reflects his hands. And I am out here. What use am I? Song is a fading memory, and the systems we built there are useless outside its orbit. How am I supposed to move on from here? He looks at you. I see you going into it. Find someone to teach? Petr pauses, thinking. You don't give up, do you, Sleeper? You just keep going. Peter shakes his head. You remind me of a student of mine, one who entered the program from one of the smaller colonies. They didn't have the advantage of someone some others, but they were stubborn as hell. By the end of the program, they were the most skilled of their peers. They didn't get the best assignments made because they didn't spend much time making the kind of connections that would have helped you get there. But that didn't matter because I knew they would make the best of anything they set themselves to. Petr smiled, buoyed by little by memory. Singers are stubborn, Sleeper. We aren't going to change easily. We won't forgive easily or take help easily, but we'll hold strong. You count on us for that. Petr stands from there. When you see Soul again, you tell him how the crews of Ember song operate. Tell him we will resist. If that means resisting harsh imperialist ambitions, so be it. If it means resisting the flux, so be it. And it means to, as you have, help others resist the same pressure, so be it. Petr smiles, and then tell him to leave us alone. He turns his step later and heads off towards the center of the Axis hub. Alright. We can talk to Soul now. When you arrive at the bridge of the Pilgrim Seed, Soul is waiting for you. You wouldn't believe the message that have come through in the past few cycles, Sleeper smiles. The ship from the steppe has sent a goodwill gesture, a whole cache of supplies from their own farms. Not sure how we'll use them, but the gesture is a welcome one. Song and Meow are apparently accepting supplies again, although a little reticently, I may say so. Soul smiles. I don't expect them to change anytime soon, it should be said. What I'm wondering, Sleeper, is what part you had in all this. Soul eyes you. I helped where I could. I've come to expect that of you, Sleeper. He smiles. You look at Soul. His eyes bright and eager and wonder what he sees in you. Are you a tool to be used or an ally? It can be hard to tell. I want to show you something. Soul squeezes your shoulder, turning to face the lift. He leads you along the axis of the ship towards the engines, the clanking of the suit accompanied by the constant hammering and welding that fills the echoey bulkheads of the Pilgrim Sea at all hours. With the cordon lifted and the shuttles able to go out to salvage scrap and barter for supplies, the ships become a place of transformation, moving towards some state yet to be revealed to you. When you look at Soul, what is his plan here? What is he preparing the Pilgrim Sea for? Or his sharp eyes simply focused on making it through the next cycle. Suddenly steps in front of the huge bulkhead door, like the seal of the front of a dry dock hangar. He signals to someone in the cabin high up, attached to the wall, and they begin the process of opening it up. The Pilgrim Sea was built as a short-range freight carrier, you know? The Ember warning lights on the bulkhead door send spinning shadows across Soul's face. We built it to ship the entire harvest from thousands of farms to the silos that pass the road. When we realized we needed to leave, it was the biggest ship we could muster, Soul wraps on the runway, and somehow she's carried us all the way out here. We? Farmers mostly, from outside the city and the edges. He flexes his shoulders beneath his suit. We saw it coming first, I guess. I knew it was time. Others didn't want to believe. I was a farmer, had a whole load of land and people to run, and my people helped convert this place for the long trip. He looks at his feet. Others let organize the evacuation and debate the plan. What happened? Not one of those folks made it, so levels it forward. We were out in the back a long time before we got here, Sleeper. Things happened. The upshot is, I was chosen to take over. I guess my crew trusted me and I knew that ship. I argued, reminding them I'm the leader and I'm sick, but well, when service chooses you. The loud klaxon sounds, indicating bulkhead doors are already open. They groan as they slide back, the metal squeals echoing through the vast ship, bouncing off its hard paling walls. At first you see darkness, then the lights go on in huge strips that stretch back and forth as you can see. The space in front of you, a vast bay bigger than you have ever seen, is empty. When we left Hearth, we didn't have the time or resources to convert the entire ship, so it begins leading you into the massive space. So much of the freight space we sealed away is shut down. But now we have time, we have resources, we've stabilized here. At least for the moment, Soul turns to you. Now is time to make use of it. What are you planning? What do you think happens next for the Eye, Sleeper? The flux has already hit one part of the station, and from what I know, it'll hit again. On Hearth, we lost everything. There isn't much time, Sleeper, but there is enough time to do something. Think of the number of people we can fit in here. The farming stacks, the housing, hell, we can't plant some of those mushrooms you love so much. This is the way forward, the only way. We need to fill this ship with able bodies and head for the starboard belt. I thought the Eye was your destination. It was until the flux hit here. Now it's just another stop. I'm glad of the chance to resupply and salvage, but we need to get further out. I want you to help me. You know the Eye, you have connections, and you can work hard. I've seen it, so I'll meet your Eye. I know you are like me, Sleeper. You didn't choose hers, but it chose you. There are other ways. If you know them, go ahead, but I'm telling you, this is the opportunity we have now. I know it's a lot to think about, Zebra. Trust me, so it begins to lead you back to the bay. But think of what we can do here. The flotilla just can't last forever. We need more than just farmers to make this work. We need to build a new world for ourselves. I've heard that out there in the belt, there are people who've set up since the collapse, making something of their own. That's our future, tucked away in those rocks, far from all this, soul size. I don't bring my people here just to let them die somewhere new. So I'll cross back over the threshold of the bay, signals for the operator to close up. The door crones, soul waits for it to stop. Think about it, Sleeper. Soul claps an arm on your back, but don't wait too long. This is happening soon. And he leaves you there in silence of this vast bay, your head spinning with the thought of leaving the eye. We got an upgrade point. I don't see any other timers over here. Just looking real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything. It looks like that finishes that job up for that. So we probably have to finish doing stuff for we have to get these for climbing briar, the data. Alright, we have a 3 points now, so I'm thinking bring that up to 3, the icebreaker, and get double the, well, we already have, but I mean just get an extra bonus there. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Boom. Now we have +2 on interface tasks as well. Alright, let's re-roll these last 2 dice, huh? 5 and a 4. I think we can use a 5 to get one of the things for our main peak. Let's just go up to the hub and grab that one. Could use a die here to start refitting the Amber. I don't know if I want to focus that job or not. I don't want to accidentally trigger the timer on the the evacuation stuff. So I wonder if I should finish all these other things first. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to know. Like, maybe I should do a work for, well, I can work on this and not go with them. So, maybe that's the best call, is to finish the Ambergris job. I can put that in there. And we're 1/4 done. Alright, let's descend. Alrighty, any of these ships in I can buy stuff from? No. Alright, then we're going to go over to our domicile here, to the repaired unit. We're going to feed that stray. And we're going to end the cycle. Alright, that was a rather long one. What kind of dice we're going to get this next day? Pretty good dice. Okay, it's saving. Good. 0 seconds. That's what I like to see. I don't get... Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you guys want to see more Citizen Sleeper, let me know in the comments if there's other games on Game Pass or PS Premium. Games are free to play, games for sale you're interested in. You can write that down in the comments. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. I'll see you guys all next time.